All right. What's going on, everybody? My name is Michael Hoff. Welcome back to the Face Off Sports Network. This is your kicker streamer video for fantasy football in Week 12. We got 6 teams on bye, so now more than ever, you may need a streamer. Let's get right into it. The first guy on our list is Spencer Sherer of the Kansas City Chiefs, filling in for Harrison Butker. They're taking on the Carolina Panthers. Right now, he's only rostered in 6% of leagues. He only put up 3 points last week in his first game against the Buffalo Bills. But mind you, that's the Buffalo Bills team that is allowing the 8th fewest points to the position. That includes 10 games in which they've allowed less than 10 points. Now Schrader and the Chiefs are taking on the Panthers, like I said, and they're coming off their bye, that being the Panthers. They are allowing the 6th most points to the position, 3rd most points on a per-game basis with 10.4. And they are also only one of 8 teams that have allowed over 100 points to the kicking position. So opportunities will present themselves more often this week than in week 11 for Schrader. I like him as a streamer. Next on our list, we'll stay in the AFC West. I apologize. Let's go to the Denver Broncos. Let's go to Mr. Will Lutz, and he is going to take on the Raiders, another AFC West team. Right now, he's rostered in 49% of leagues, so a little bit higher. But again, 6 teams on bye. Maybe he's available in your league. Give it a look. Regarding fantasy production, it hasn't always been great for Lutz. He's now had 4 straight games with less than 10 points scored. That's not great. That's not what we want to hear. But hope is on the horizon in the form of the Las Vegas Raiders. Because if you remember last week, I mentioned Jason Sanders was one of my honorable mentions as a kicker streamer. He did finish in the top 12. This is the Raiders defense allowing the 4th most fantasy points to the position right now. And headed into this week, the Raiders are the only team in the NFL to allow 10-plus points to the position in the last few weeks. So that being they are the only team, to allow 10-plus points in all 3 of their last 3 games. So that bodes well for Mr. Lutz. I think this is a great opportunity for him to get back into the top 12. Beyond the last 3 games, the Raiders have also allowed 10-plus points to kickers in 80% of their games. That's the most in the NFL. So 80%, I'll take those odds. So give me Will Lutz in a 10-plus game in Week 12. Last on our list, Chase McLaughlin going up against the New York Football Giants. Right now, he's only rostered in 22% of leagues. And kind of interesting. Yeah, he's coming off his bye, so maybe some people have dropped him, but McLaughlin's still top 12 in fantasy points scored. So, and again, only rostered in 22% of leagues, which seems a little odd. Perhaps this is part of the injuries that have plagued the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which we'll get to in a moment. But he hasn't seen double-digit points since week 5. Also not great, but I like him in this matchup in a bounce back against the Giants. Over the last 3 games played, the Giants are tied for the most fantasy points allowed with 33. They're tied with the Raiders, by the way. Again, another Will Lutz shout-out. 2 of those 3 games, the Giants allowed double-digit points. And one of the last things to keep in mind here, like I just mentioned earlier, Mike Evans is seems to be returning from his hamstring injury. He never had to go on the IR. They are coming off their bye. He was seen in practice on Monday. I'm telling you this not because Mike Evans knows how to kick, but because Mike Evans in that Buccaneers offense could help produce some more sustainable drives, could get them into the red zone more often, could present opportunities for more points for the Buccaneers and Chase McLaughlin. So I like him as a bounce back as well. I think I'm very confident all 3 of these guys could finish inside the top 12 this week. Will Lutz being my favorite of the 3. But again, to close it out, my kicker streams of the week in fantasy football, week 12, Spencer Schrader, Will Lutz, and Chase McLaughlin. Stay tuned, folks. I will have a playoff kicker video coming to you at some point. Give you some players to pick in those pivotal playoff matchups. But until next time, stay thirsty, be kind to one another. We'll catch you guys on the flip side, and cheers.